Your signups are dying on day one. Not because your product is bad, because nobody ever walks them to the first win. If you're a solo founder shipping a SaaS and watching 50% of accounts go cold in week one, this is the fix. I'll show you the exact 4-screen onboarding flow Claude Code wrote for a live invoicing product, the drop-off logs it added on its own, and the rescue email it schedules for stuck users. Most builders never ship this layer. I'm Nazar. I run production automations for paying clients daily. Let's start where every founder skips. Here's the uncomfortable truth. When a solo founder shows me their SaaS, they've spent 3 months on the product and about 40 minutes on the onboarding. Then they wonder why activation sits at 50% and week one churn is brutal. I've watched this pattern on client after client. The product works. The sign-up form works. Payment works. But somewhere between account creation and the first real action, users just vanish. And most founders never fix it, because building onboarding feels like busy work compared to shipping features. So let me show you the exact flow I use with Claude Code for a live invoicing product serving small businesses. 4 steps. Average time to first invoice, 8 minutes. Activation rate, 82%. Week 1 churn under 5%. This is the flow, and this is how Claude Code writes it for you. Step 1 is the part almost everyone gets wrong. You have to define what activation actually means. Not sign up. Not profile filled out. Not tutorial finished. The single concrete action that means this user got value. For an invoicing product, it's first invoice sent to a real client, not a test invoice, a real one. Once you know that action, you design the entire onboarding backward from it. So the prompt I give Claude Code sounds like this. I say, the activated state for this user is first invoice sent to a real recipient email. Design the shortest possible path from account creation to that state. Assuming the user has never used invoicing software before, and assuming they will abandon if any single screen takes longer than 90 seconds. Claude Code doesn't just spit out UI. It asks back. It asks what data is legally required on the invoice, what the user already knows versus what we have to teach, and what defaults we can pre-fill. That back and forth is where the real design happens. Step 2 is the wizard itself. 4 screens in this exact order. Screen 1, company info, just name and tax ID. Everything else auto-fetched from the government registry API. Screen 2, tax setup. 1 drop-down, VAT registered, yes or no. Everything else defaulted. Screen 3, first client, name and email only. Address optional. Screen 4, first invoice, 1 line item. Amount, vent. That's it. No dashboard, no welcome video. The prompt I paste into Claude Code is literally generate a 4-step wizard component where each step has a single primary action, a skip option only if legally allowed, and a progress indicator showing steps remaining. Persist partial state on every field blur so a user who closes the tab can resume. Claude Code writes the components, the state management, and the resume logic in one pass. I read it. I push back on 2 or 3 things, and it ships. Step 3 is the part nobody builds, and it's the part that made activation jump from 50 to 82%. Drop-off logging. On every single step of the wizard, Claude Code adds a time-stamped event. Step started, step completed, step abandoned, field focused, field blurred, validation error shown. All of it goes into a simple events table. Then Claude Code writes me a small dashboard query that shows, for the last 30 days, how many users hit each step and how many completed it. When I ran that the first time, 2 screens jumped out. One asked for billing address before the first invoice, and 40% of users died there. Another asked users to pick an invoice template, and 30% bounced. I killed both screens. Activation climbed 11 points in a week. You cannot fix what you don't measure, and Claude Code will add this measurement layer for free if you ask it to. The prompt is one line. Add event logging to every wizard step, including start, complete, abandon, and field-level errors, and give me a SQL query that shows the drop-off funnel. Step 4 is the rescue. Even with a clean wizard, some users sign up, get interrupted, and never come back. So Claude Code writes a scheduled job that runs every hour. It finds any user who created an account more than 24 hours ago, has not reached the activated state, and has not received a rescue email yet. It sends them a single short email. Not a marketing email. A human-sounding one-line message that says, "I noticed you started setting up your account but didn't finish. Is there something blocking you? Just reply to this email." That rescue email pulls back roughly 12% of otherwise dead signups. The prompt to build it is, write a scheduled job that identifies users who signed up but did not complete activation within 24 hours, sends them a plain text email from a real address that accepts replies, and logs the send, so we never send twice. Now here's what changes when you have all 4 pieces working together. Your activation number stops being a mystery. You know exactly which screen kills users. You know which rescue emails work. And every time you change the flow, you can see the funnel move within days. That's the difference between a solo founder guessing and a solo founder shipping. And the whole thing, the wizard, the logging, the rescue job, took about a day of focused work with Claude Code. Not a 4-hour course, not a boot camp. One focused day. If you're sitting on a product with 50% activation right now, you don't need more features. You need this layer. Build it this week. If you want the exact prompt pack I use for this, the 4-screen wizard prompt, the drop-off logging prompt, and the rescue email job, we keep it in the resource library at BizflowAI.io, free. While you're there, take a look at the real onboarding and automation systems we ship for clients. If any of it maps to a workflow you want automated, book a free 30-minute discovery call, same site, BizflowAI.io. And hit subscribe plus the bell so the next breakdown on the drop-off logs themselves lands in your feed.